everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my mid-month wrap-up for February 2019. I'm gonna dive right in. I was planning to read more for Black History Month, but I didn't make a TBR for it, and I'm having a lot of trouble focusing on specific things, so I'm not getting as much of that done as I would like. I'm trying, like it's an active try, but it's not going very well. If you've seen my life update, which I will link up in the cards, you'll know that my grandfather is, at this point in time, he is in hospice and we're just waiting for him to pass away, and that's all we are doing. By the time this video goes live, I am going to guess he has passed. So I don't know. But as a result, I've been like super focused on whatever will keep me focused instead of everything else. And it just so happens that it hasn't been a Black author that has captured my focus. So I do apologize. I really wish I could have done better, but it is what it is. I did though read the fourth autobiography of Maya Angelou, which I'm buddy reading with Amanda Center. I will link that up in the cards. This is her autobiography, which I think there are 6 of, maybe 7. She's written so much. It's insane. 2, 4, 6. There's 6 of them, and we just finished number 4. We've been working on this for around 8 months, and it is a slow process. It's not that we're not focused on it, it's just hard to get through this whole thing. I'm not a Maya Angelou fan intensely. I appreciate who she is and what she's done for literature, and I understand that. I just haven't read much of her poetry, and as a result, I don't have that hardcore love for her, and so this just feels like a less hyped piece of work. I know Why the Caged Bird Sings is wonderful, and we picked up the other ones because we love that so much, but the others have just not done it for us. And so reading the 4th one, it felt like, I don't know, for me it just felt like another one of our biographies that was kind of meh, and I'm not thrilled with it. I'm not. Then I reread Bellevue. I read this in 2017. I'm reading The Alienist, and I wanted to read this nonfiction piece beside it and to get a more cohesive idea of medicine and history of medicine in New York City specifically. And this was basically where all of the trial and error went on, was at Bellevue. There was a lot of people who went to it for mental health. There was a lot of people who ended up there for physical health, but overall it's just a massively, intensely historical piece of medical history, and it's just really important, and I wanted to read it beside The Alienist to get more of a feel for that time in history and what history's medicine was like back then. So I did that, and it was good to read it beside The Alienist. I enjoyed it. It's one that I liked. I appreciated. It's a good 4-star read book, but it's not 100% memorable. It just doesn't hold the memory as well as I would like it to, fact-wise. Some of it I got, but a lot of it is really not sticking, and it didn't stick the first time either. I'm going to do a full in-depth review of this. This is The Body Myth. This is by Rhea Mukherjee. It's from Unnamed Press. I was sent this for review. Comes out on February 26th. I'll be doing a full in-depth review of it for that release date. This story is good. I liked it. It was 4 stars. I will talk more about it in my review. Beautiful Boy. This is by David Sheff. I read Tweak by his son Nick Sheff. And I really liked the two of them. I felt Nick took a little more ownership for his addiction due to his life experience. And I think there were moments where his father could have not accepted blame. There is no blame to put, but put more into understanding that situations allowed him to have access to much more intense drugs that he may not have had access to had he been not as well off and not in the situation he was in, and had his mother not left, and had he not felt so isolated and unidentifiable in terms of his own identity. And I wish that his father had taken more on of knowledge of that, rather than just place the addiction as an illness and ignore some, what's the word I'm looking for? Environmental facts. So it was good. I liked it. I watched the movie. It was really decent. It kind of blended the two of Nick and David's story. It was decent. I really liked it. It was sad though. Very sad. Another book I read for Black History is We Cast a Shadow by Maurice Carls Ruffian. This was difficult. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it. I highly was anticipating it, and I had requested it for review. I was not sent a copy. This was a real special treat to read. I really appreciated it, and I think that it's a really interesting concept. The idea of changing one's race to identify as a different race for safety reasons, or for ease of life reasons. It was very different, very good. It reminded me a little bit of Blackass. I think that's what it's called. Which is the story of a man who is black living in Africa, and he wakes up white except for his butt. I didn't love that one as much as I loved this one. This one I felt was much more well done and much more accessible. I really enjoyed this, and I highly recommend it. Then I did a full in-depth review of this. This released on February 12th. This is The Year I Didn't Eat by Samuel Pollan. This is a middle grade. It's about anorexia, and it's about a boy. It's a very different feeling of an anorexia story than I am used to. I will link my review up in the cards. I definitely enjoyed it. This is an advanced reader's copy, and I would highly recommend it. It was really emotional and definitely cracks down on the family dynamics and what happens when a person really gets deep into the sickness of anorexia, and how the mind works. It was really wonderful. I really enjoyed it. This is Helen Oyemi, White is for Witching. I read this because I was in the mood for some Oyemi. I want Gingerbread. I've requested it 7 times from the publisher, and it has not happened yet. I am wishing so hard for it, but it just hasn't happened. So I'm bummed, but that's okay. I was in the mood for some Oyemi, so I reread this. This is about Miranda. She suffers from pica, which is an eating disorder where you eat non-food valued items, so like chalk in her case. It was really interesting, really well done. I really enjoyed it. I love the story, and I love the narration of the house, and the intense spiral into madness. It was really wonderful. I highly recommend it. And then this one was my favorite of the month so far. This is Savage Conversations by Leanne Howe. How do I describe this? This is very experimental. It's a story that, surprisingly enough, did not hold too strongly to a cohesive plot. It's more sporadic conversations between Mary Todd Lincoln and an Indian that she is seeing in her room while she is in Bellevue, I believe. Yeah. Bellevue Place Sanitarium. And she's being haunted by the Indians that supposedly is the ghost of one of the Indians that her husband had put to death, which was the largest execution in American history. Never really knew about that. It was really hard to think about Lincoln doing that, and it was really sad. And the reason behind it was terrible. Messed up? Want to say a different word. It was a really bad situation. And, yeah, it was just really intense, and I really enjoyed it. I'll show you. So this is how it's written. It's in conversation. So it's between Mary Todd Lincoln, the Savage Indian, and the Rope. Really, really dark. Really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend this. It was fabulous. So those are all the books. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. I would like to say thank you and love to my Patreons. You guys are wonderful. If you feel like you want to support me on Patreon, go ahead and I will link the Patreon page down in the doobly-doo, and you guys are more than welcome to, you guys know the drill. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.